my channel. Today I am going to be discussing the Charmed reboot and why I like it so much. The reason I like the Charmed reboot is because I can relate to the sisters a lot more with them being Puerto Rican. Um, that's just one of the reasons because my birth father is Puerto Rican and I never got to really hang out with him that much, so it's nice to kind of see that culture represented in this new Charmed. Another thing I like is the science and magic are colliding. I like to see the we're branching out into different forms of magic. It's not just all one language. It's like all over the globe, which I really enjoy that. And then the I like the fact that we got introduced to the mom right away in like the first episode, and then saw her die because we didn't see that in the original show. The mom wasn't a part of their lives; she was already dead, and but her spirit did eventually come back in the original. But the Charmed reboot um, has meant a lot to me personally because I loved seeing like the LGBTQ community represented on TV. And I like the fact that the Charmed ones are now women of color. They're um and I know there's fans out there that might not like that. I know they're upset that, you know, they're the original actresses aren't in the new show, but the the original show ended in 2006 with 8 seasons. So I think their story is pretty much wrapped up. Now it's time for the Vera Vaughn sisters to take over, and I think we should all just go along for the ride and see how this plays out. Another thing I like is Harry being British, and I like that he has his own backstory and he orbs differently than Leo, because this is again a new Charmed. It doesn't have to be the same as the original. And yes, there's multiple Easter eggs from the original show in the show. Like there's a P3 reference. There's just um the truth spell got turned into a potion in this new Charmed. There's just multiple references, and including Melinda Warren is in the Vera Book of Shadows. Granted, we don't know yet if Melinda Warren is related to the Vera Vaughns or if she's just um, was a friend of their mom's and is in their book. We don't know, and it might just be an Easter egg. We never know. They could maybe make it so that they are related, but we don't know. And I like this different spells that are in this new Charmed. They're different. There was a Spanish spell, there was a Latin spell, there's English spells, there's all these different languages being spoken, and I like that. And I like the fact that Macy's a scientist, but she also has a dark side that, she's got demon blood flowing through her veins, and I think that's an aspect of the show that the original would never have tackled. They wouldn't have made um, one of the Charmed ones a demon throughout the whole series, like the show has done. And one of her lines was too demon for some, not enough for others. And I kind of know it kind of parallels with, blackness. And that's another thing that they brought up with Maggie having a black father. So she's half black, and she's like, do I get to be considered a part of a culture that I didn't grow up in? And that kind of resonated with me being part Puerto Rican from my birth dad's side, because like I said, I never grew up with my birth parents. So I'm like, do I get to be considered a part of that culture when I never grew up with them? And so that kind of hit home for me. Um, and then there's just so different many ways that this show can go. They already tackled the source of all evil in the first season, but with a twist. It's not the source of all evil, it's the source of all magic. So demons and witches get their power from the same source. So I liked that they changed that from the original. I like that we're getting introduced to this charmed universe. And I kind of see this as its own show. It's not related to the new or to the original at all. And I like that. I like that it's not related to the original. I do like that they're putting little Easter eggs from the original show into this new show. I do like that. And um, this show is getting so much hate lately. I mean, even when it first was announced that they were doing this reboot, there was already people saying, no, we don't want it. And quite frankly, I was one of those people. But then I sat down, watched the first episode. I'm like, okay, I want to give this a try. So I would say probably halfway through the first episode, I was hooked. I wanted to know more about these sisters and more about the universe. And so I became a Charmed Reboot fan. And I think it's a great show. I like it. I know multiple people watch it. You know, there's a fan base already for this new show, and I got friends from school that like both. They watch the original and then they watch the reboot, and you know that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with liking both. But right now, the original fandom is being so cruel to the new show and the new fandom, and I don't like that. You know, it's like constant fighting between the two fandoms, and I'm like, can't we just all get along? And I don't know if that's ever going to be possible. It might not right now, but hopefully, you know, as this new show progresses, the the OG fandom will be more, I guess, open to the reboot and want to check it out from the first season, because some of them only watched like maybe the first episode or two, and then they stopped watching. And I think that made some problems because the show got better as the season went on. I will admit the pilot wasn't the best, but then again, what pilot doesn't have issues? You know, like Once Upon a Time's pilot had some issues as the series went on. The pilot didn't make any sense anymore. But it, it kind of did, but in other ways it didn't. Um, but, you know, there, each pilot has its issues, and I think for the first maybe 3 episodes, they're still trying to figure out where the show is going. You know, they don't know the whole picture yet. So I think the fans that maybe cut off too soon need to continue watching and see the progression of the show and where it's going. And yes, the second season has new showrunners coming in, and it's going to focus more on the supernatural, and it's going to be like a more serious tone, I think, from what I've read. Um, and I'm okay with that, just as long as we don't forget the family aspect of the show. You know, like the sisters are witches, and they need to have some sort of family dynamic going on. They can't get rid of that completely. I hope they don't. Um, so yeah, I think this Charmed reboot has potential to go far. I know it doesn't do great, at least in the live viewings, but I know DVR numbers and uh, the CW app. It I think it's like one of the most popular shows on the CW app. So I think that's why they renewed it for a second season. But it would be great if we could get those live numbers to go up. I know that might be difficult because people have to work, and you know I get that. But I watch it live, and then I do the CW app, so I'm hoping that that kind of counts for the ratings to go up, but I don't know. So I just, for my message to the Charmed reboot haters would be give it a chance. If you don't like it, that's fine. But please don't bully other fans of the show. It's not right. You know, we shouldn't bully each other. I know there's a Charmed group of fans that bully the original Charmed. It just goes back and forth, but I think we all just need to get together and accept that there's two different Charmed shows out there for people to watch. The original had, like I said, 8 seasons. If you don't like the reboot, just go back and watch the 8 seasons and let us enjoy our new show. And I know the original fandom is getting so toxic that I just kind of took myself out of the fandom. I'll still watch the original show. I just won't be a part of the fandom because it's just getting too toxic right now. So I guess I said what I wanted to say, and thank you for watching this video. I'll probably post more Charmed vlogs or after shows, whatever, onto this channel once season 2 comes out. I just want to give you my thoughts on the Charmed reboot. So, thank you. Have a good day. Please, if you feel like it, subscribe, and God bless.